Hey, good morning, and welcome back to Law and Society virtual version. Um, I'm redoing this screencast right now. I had some problems with it. I'm not sure what was going on there. Very frustrating for both me and you. So I hope things are going well. This screencast is just a short introduction to a big topic, something called the force continuum. This is the whole idea of when can police officers use force and when do they, what are the restrictions? And so I'm going to walk you through a couple things. Um, First of all, before we get to that, I think I need to give you some context. We have people who are liberal and people who are conservative in the political climate of the United States, and that also affects the way our criminal justice system works. So, conservatives tend to look at crime and criminals this way. Criminals are dangerous. We got to control criminals. We got to protect society, and we got to compensate the victim. Okay, so this is a very much sort of a victim oriented view of the system. And uh, the idea is we need to be tough on crime. All right, that's more of the conservative view of crime. All right, now the liberal view uh, goes a little bit the other direction. It says we really should emphasize more on treatment and reform of the criminal, and we can cure criminals from a liberal perspective by placing them in community-based facilities. Okay, not housing them in big, huge prisons and all of that kind of thing. So, once again, conservatives more emphasis on these four things. Okay, that doesn't mean that a liberal person would look at this and say, this is really stupid. I don't believe in any of this. They probably would, but they just wouldn't emphasize it as much. Does that make sense? And the liberal view, again, it doesn't mean a conservative wouldn't look at this and say, this makes sense. But again, they wouldn't emphasize it as much. So this is more from the liberal view, more emphasis on this. All right, now I have a document linked in the announcement as well today. And this has to do with when the state, okay, when authorities can take certain actions. And these are what we call the levels of proof. All right, so we start at the very lowest level. If they have suspicion, what can they do? If they have reasonable belief, what can they do? If they have probable cause, what can they do? What does it mean if it's preponderance of the evidence? And what does it mean if it's beyond a reasonable doubt? All right. Now, I want you to stop the screencast and go into that document and take a look at what actions the state can take when they're at this level of proof or this level of proof or this level of proof. Okay. Because this is more context for you to understand the force continuum. So stop the screencast, take some time, look at the document. All right. Okay, now another big thing. Okay, there's pieces of the puzzle I have to put together here. Discretion. In our legal system, discretion is practiced all the time, up and down the line, by officials within the criminal justice system. That means that they have to make a judgment in a given situation. They have to make a judgment sometimes on the spot, spur of the moment. They have to come up with the best judgment they have for that situation. Okay, so what is that? Well, it's an authority conferred by law to act in certain conditions or situations in accordance with an official's or an official agency's own considered judgment and conscience. Okay, judgment. Discretion is exercised throughout the criminal justice system. Okay, applying due process rights, for example, is not always a hard and fast thing. Decisions have to be made in particular situations. Okay, every single situation in the law is different. And officials, policemen, attorneys, judges, they all have to use discretion. Okay, there are no two situations that are exactly alike in the legal system. All right, now, having said that, force continuum. So, police officers, what kinds of force can they use and in what situations? All right, this is a really nice diagram of this. It's a pyramid starting down here at the lowest level of force, right? Going up to the highest level of force, okay? Stop the screencast, study the diagram, okay? All right, now let me make another, just one quick comment about this. As a private individual, if somebody is attacking me, I can match their force. I have a right to do that. If somebody's coming at me with fists flying, I have a right to fight back with fists. Okay? I have a right to defend myself. Policemen have a right to go up one level of force. Okay? That's important. We give them that authority, and they have to be trained in that. And it's very important, that police training. If any of you are thinking about police work, that's really important, really significant. As a private individual, I don't have that right. If somebody's coming at me with fists and I take out a baseball bat, and start swinging it at them, I've gone up a level of force, right? I'm defending myself, but that may not hold up well in a court of law if I would happen to, for example, kill that person, like that kind of thing. So you have to think about that. Policemen can go up a level from what they're facing. You and I can't do that. We have to just defend ourselves. We have to be able to match the force. All right. So policing the force continuum. It's a use. The use of force continuum is it's a standard. It provides law enforcement and civilians with guidelines to how much force they can be used. All right. So you've got different levels. Okay, remember we just looked at a pyramid, right? So now I'm showing them to you this way. Kind of give you a different, just a quick overview of them. Quick look. Here's a guy with a taser, see? So that would be level 4, like that. If you go back to that diagram I had, the pyramid, you'll see that. All right. Now, what we're doing with that today is you're going to apply that to a practical situation, which was an arrest of a guy named Philando Castile, which happened in 2016 up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. It was a nationally famous case, and it's quite a story. So I'm going to have you kind of apply what you learned here to that story today. All right? Have a great day, and good luck with the work. We'll talk later.